All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? It is Tuesday. And on top of that, it is Terrific Tuesday. So, I love it when it's Terrific Tuesday. Who out there loves Terrific Tuesday? I love Terrific Tuesday. I think Tuesday is one of the best days of the week. And I really think that, well, I mean, every day for me is like Monday anyway. So, it's kind of interesting. Somebody asked me the other day, it was like, they was like, what day of the week do you like the best? A lot of people tend to like Fridays the best. I know myself, I don't really care what day it is. To me, every day is Monday. So, you can ask me what's your favorite day all you want. To me, my favorite day is Monday because to me every day is Monday. All right? And when you have that kind of a mindset, it doesn't really matter what day it is because there's a lot of people that's out there that they're working for the weekend. They can't wait until the weekend happens. Everybody, it's like the old song goes, everybody's working for the weekend. And that's a great song, but it's a horrible mindset to have. I tell you, if you are working for the weekend, you're not really enjoying the things that you're doing on a daily basis. Man, I got something in my damn eye. If all you're doing is working for the weekend, then you are absolutely getting it 100% wrong. Okay, you're absolutely getting it 100% wrong if you were just working for the weekend. It's one of those things that when you have the mindset of every day is Monday, it doesn't really matter what day of the week it is because every day is a great day. When you establish that mindset, that proper mindset, that right mindset, that every day is an opportunity, every day there will be things that happen. Okay? Now, there are some people that are out there that have this whole mindset, or they think kind of like, there's things that happen to you, or, man, this happened to me the other day, or, man, you won't believe this happened to me. And I absolutely disagree with the whole concept of things happening to me. All right? I really believe that things happen for me, not to me. All right? When you establish the mindset of things happening for you, you will really have that whole shift in how you look at your life and how you look at your day whenever you adopt that whole mindset of things happening for you versus to you. All right, so if you're joining me here within the live stream, please let me know that you're here by dropping me a comment within the live chat, because I always can't really tell who is here and who's not here, and usually I can really only tell whenever somebody leaves me a comment within the chat that you're actually watching. Okay, so once again, if you're here watching me, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come over here and listen to the things that I have to say. All right, so if you're new to my channel and you don't know anything about me or who I am, my name is Terry Thompson. I am a published author. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a leadership expert. I'm a training developer. I'm a certified training developer. I'm a certified master resiliency trainer, which basically what that means is that I'm a life coach. I can help people bounce back. I can give people tips, tools, techniques, skills in which to help overcome, whatever obstacles or whatever things that are happening within your life. And, and I've actually been formally trained in which to do that, in which to help people build resilience. But what exactly is resilience? Resilience, the book answer of resilience is basically the ability to bounce back. Flat Earth Forums, hey, thanks for joining me here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. So we got Flat Earth Forums that has just joined me here tonight. If you're not connected with Flat Earth Forums, make sure that you get connected with Flat Earth Forums and go over and watch his live streams. Absolutely motivational speaker. I love listening to Flat Earth Forums. Always has a lot of great things to talk about, a lot of great things to say. So once again, if you're not connected with Flat Earth Forums, make sure you get over there and get connected with Flat Earth Forums today, and get a little bit more motivation and inspiration within your life. Yeah, absolutely. So, resilience, building resiliency is the ability to bounce back after adversity or after something happens to you. And so I'm a certified master resiliency trainer, which means I actually train people how to deal with those types of things, how to bounce back. So it's really coping, not really coping skills, because I don't really like to use the word coping. So whenever you have situations happening within your life, things, circumstances, I don't like those words because they are negative words. But whenever things do tend to go wrong or happen within your life, some people build up coping skills. And I absolutely cannot stand the whole idea of just having coping skills. You really need to have resiliency skills, skills that will help you bounce back and actually deal with those things that are going on within your life. Not just look for ways to, get out of it or let it pass you by or not seem so bad. Those are all kind of negative connotations if you really kind of take a step back and look at it, but you're really not overcoming the situation. You're really not dealing with it, coping with things. It has such a negative connotation to me that I just cannot stand, when somebody say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm getting by. I'm just coping with stuff," or and that leads me to believe that the word copaesthetic was kind of derived from that word coping. And gosh, it's just such a negative word for me. So you really got to have those life skills, those resiliency, real-time resilient skills that will help you bounce back even faster. Because here's the thing, whenever people are dealing with certain circumstances or certain situations, it's really those things that are underneath the surface, those iceberg things that really just have a hard time of surfacing. And what you see on top is really just the person's reactions to certain things. And if you really want to help a person overcome a lot of the things that they're dealing with in life, you've got to get underneath. You got to get under that surface and really dig deep and figure out, okay, what is going on? What causes this person to act this way whenever certain things tend to happen? What makes this person say certain things whenever certain things tend to happen? What are those triggers? Whenever you can get to the bottom line of what those triggers are, then you're onto something. Then you can actually help that person out. Then you can actually give them tips, tools, techniques, resources, ways in which to actually alleviate the problem or get rid of it altogether. Okay, but you got to get up underneath those icebergs. When you look at an iceberg, the interesting thing about icebergs is that there's so much up underneath. You really only kind of see the tip. You really don't even see everything that there is to witness about an iceberg, because so much is hidden. And a lot of people tend to do just that. They tend to hide things, or they tend to mask things, but don't ever really get to the bottom line of this is what's really bothering me. I'm stressed out. Okay, well, why are you stressed out? Well, I have a test that's coming up. I have a person I don't want to deal with. I got a bad person at work that won't leave me alone. All these different things that you look for that are outside circumstances when you really need to be looking inside. Once you can solve inside, you can deal with anything that happens on the outside. Here's what I like about inspiration. Inspiration begins within, I-N, or to kind of quote it, within. Inspiration begins within. Okay, and the thing is that if you want to overcome any situation within life, you have to be able to look within yourself Okay, if you want to be inspired to overcome anything, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the ability to solve anything that happens, anything that comes your way. You have the ability. But what you need to do is get up underneath, dig deep in and figure out, like, what is the real thing? Why am I really stressed out at work? Why do I really have test anxiety? Why do I really not like that person every time they talk? Once you can clearly identify those things, then you can deal with them a whole lot better. Okay? So I'll give you an example. Every time, so let's say, for example, that you have a person that is in your life. And every time this person talks, the hair on the back of your neck stands up. You just can't stand the sound of that person's voice. Okay? And no matter what they say, whether it be positive, whether it be negative, it could be anything. But just the sound of this person's voice tremendously just gets up under your skin. You know, do you have a situation that's like that? Or do you have somebody within your life that no matter what this person says, no matter what this person does, they just get up under your skin? Okay, I have a few people like that within my life. I just can't stand, you know, the sound of this person's voice. I can't stand the sight of this person, you know. And as I look within myself, you know, I always question, what are those triggers? Why don't I like the sound of this person's voice? What does it remind me of? Does it bring back a flashback or a memory of something that I experienced a long time ago? And every time this person talks a certain way, it reminds me of like someone else, or it reminds me of a situation, or it reminds me of an unpleasant moment, whatever the case may be. You know, every time that you see somebody wearing something, for example, does that thing that they wear remind you of a past experience that was negative? Okay? So that's what I'm trying to figure out, like right there. Not necessarily just coping with those types of things, because, you know, you can't just walk into a room and before somebody starts talking, you need to shut up. Talk to the hand. I don't want to hear it. Nope, because your voice is annoying and I just can't deal with you today. That's really kind of that's not a way to deal. That's not no way. Man, I'm talking like Southern Texas right there. That's not no way to deal. Well, I tell you what, that's not no way to deal with it. So, I'm bringing out my Southern twang on that one, man. Well, I put my foot off in that word. So that's really not a way to deal with that particular situation, that person. You can't just walk into a room and tell a person, just shut up, I don't like the sound of your voice. You don't talk to me for the rest of the day. You can't really do that. But maybe you can highlight certain things. You know, maybe you can bring it to their attention like, hey, you know, I noticed that you tend to... You know, when you get tired, you tend to sound this way or something along those lines. I'm trying to brainstorm an idea here on how to deal with somebody that you really don't like the sound of their voice, because, you know, it's really rude and disrespectful if you really just walk, you know, you tell everybody to shut up, I don't like the sound of your voice. It's like me. I'll be completely transparent with you right now. I'll give you a certain circumstance, well, a certain thing in my life that tremendously gets under my skin. The sound of a whistle. I absolutely cannot stand the sound of a whistle. When someone whistles, whether it be at work, whether it be at the store, whether it just be some random thing, it drives me freaking nuts. I cannot stand the sound of a whistle. Okay. Hey, Flat Earth Forums, thank you, man. Thanks for letting me know that you're still listening. Yeah, I seen the number kind of drop off there a little bit, and I was kind of wondering. I was like, man, is somebody still here or not? But I know there's really nobody here. Maybe I just go live at the wrong times. I need to start going live in the morning. But I'm actually using my phone. So here's the cool thing, Flat Earth Forums. I'm actually using my phone to stream this time instead of using OBS. So I'm actually using my phone. I got my phone set right here in front of my computer, and I'm watching the live stream as I'm talking on my computer. What the hell is that damn noise? Oh. Sorry about that. Man, I was like, what the hell is that damn noise? I got a another stream going on over here. Okay, I'm gonna mute that. So I had to mute that. I was like, why do I have a damn beeping noise? Why do I have a beeping noise? And I have my Zoom open over here because I'm in another conference with some people over here in Zoom. Well, I'm not talking to them. Somebody else is going to be talking, but it's being recorded. But I have to be a part of it. So I always believe in self-education. So I'm continuously educating myself. So I'm a student at Villanova University. And I have class tonight, but it's online. So we do our virtual classrooms via Zoom, and that's what happened. So somebody logged in, and I had some noise in the background, but I guess I didn't realize I was all the way muted. I'm a student at Villanova University, and I got a class tonight. So I got that on another screen. I got two screens here in front of me. It's kind of neat, man. I got like 4 different windows open here, but I got my live stream going, I got my classroom going, and then I got some other stuff going here. But Flat Earth Forums, thank you, man. Thanks for joining me here tonight. So that's funny because I used to whistle a lot and people hated it. My pet peeve is hearing folks chew their food. Yeah, that's another one right there that really tends to get on my nerves. But talking about whistling. So here's the funny thing. I cannot stand the sound of a whistle, just like a random whistle. So let's say, for example, somebody's at a store or just randomly just starts whistling. That gets under my skin. It tremendously it just pisses me off when that happens. However, I can listen to a song. I'll give you an example. Flo Rida has a song called Whistle. I can listen to that song all day long, and it has whistling in it. It's weird. But if I'm whistling, I can listen to it. I can hear it. But if somebody else randomly whistles, I have trouble. I struggle with that. And I know what my trigger is. I'm not going to talk about what my trigger is, but I actually do have a trigger on why that actually happens, and it reminds me of something from years ago that gives me kind of a flashback, because I do have a PTSD form of it on certain things, and it triggers that memory. So when I hear those whistles, it really does. It triggers something within me that gives me a horrible flashback. So, but I can listen to music and myself whistle, and it doesn't bother me at all. It really does not. So it's kind of weird. So if you don't mind sharing while we're kind of here talking, what kind of iceberg thing do you have that tends to kind of bother you a little bit, whether it be whistling, someone talking, somebody wearing something? So I think you said chewing their food. So I'll kind of touch on that right there. Chewing their food or smacking out loud and this, that, and the other. I remember years ago, I'll share a quick story with you. Years ago, I was with my dad, and he's a large dude, man. He's not as tall now. He's kind of shrunk over the years. But my dad, back in the day was about 6'1", 6'2", and he weighed about 320 pounds. Now he's shrunk a little bit because he's a lot older. So now he's about 5'8". He's shrunk a lot. And I'm actually taller than him now. But he's still heavy. He's still about 270 pounds. And when he eats really loud. And I remember years ago, he was eating dinner. We was eating dinner at the house, and he was going to town like a dog tearing into a bowl of food that he hasn't eaten in a week. It was disgusting. I mean, he was just ripping into that food like he had not eaten in a week. And I just kind of looked up at him and I said, Dad, I was like, could you please quit smacking your frickin' lips, while you're eating? It sounds disgusting, and it's kind of making me not want to eat my food. Well, that kind of hurt his feelings just a little bit. It really did. And he stopped what he was doing because it made him aware that, hey, he was doing something, because he didn't really realize that, in his mind, he didn't realize he was doing something wrong. A lot of times when people are doing certain things, they don't realize they're doing something wrong. I'll even kind of take a step back here on this whole whistling thing. So I'm at Walmart the other day, and there's this employee that's working there in the aisles, and he's just stocking the shelves. He's putting stuff up and this, that, and the other. But man, this dude's whistling at like top freaking lung. I mean, he's laying into it. and he's whistling really loud. And I'm just over here like, oh God, I gotta go shopping, but I don't want to listen to this. So I'm trying to like get past what I'm trying to get in the aisles here, and this guy's just going to town on whatever it was that he was whistling. And at that moment I couldn't deal with it. I ended up forgetting stuff, and I ended up just walking out of the store. Is what I ended up doing. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out ways in which I can deal with the whole whistling thing. So being ignored is insulting to you, or demoted or demoting. So being ignored, yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. Because here's the thing about being ignored. There's a couple of different ways to look at that when in reference to being ignored. Maybe the person didn't hear, and I know that I've dealt with that a few times because I've walked into a room and I just burst out and I start talking. Hey, bam, 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 bam. And then I just pause for a second because I don't get any immediate feedback. I'm like, hey, did you hear anything that I just said? Why are you ignoring me? What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. There's a difference between listening and hearing. Okay, in and of itself, if you can hear, you might hear a lot of things that's being said, but if you're not listening to it, sometimes it doesn't kind of set well with what's actually being said. Okay, and sometimes that might be the case. You got to give the person the benefit of the doubt that maybe they absolutely just wasn't listening. They may have heard something muffled in the background. That's kind of one way to look at it. Maybe they didn't understand what was said and had kind of a late reaction. I'll give you an example. Like my wife, for example, I'm married to a Spanish woman and she has a real heavy accent. Sometimes she'll say something and I'm like, man, what'd you say? And I'll pause for like just a second. And then, sometimes I gotta ask her to say what she said again. Because it's not that I didn't hear, it's just I didn't understand. And that's one way of looking at it as well, too, especially if you're around someone that has a heavy accent. Maybe I'll even give you another example. So sometimes I speak with a real heavy Southern accent, and sometimes I'm not always understood sometimes whenever I speak. So I got a couple of different ways, I got a few different ways in which I can talk. When I'm really relaxed and I'm putting my foot off in it, I got a really deep Southern accent sometimes. And then when I really want to put on the charm, I got a radio voice and I can put it on, and I got that marketing and that advertising voice and that radio voice that I can do. And sometimes whenever I have that Southern accent, it's not always understood sometimes. So it's not that I'm being ignored, it's just that I wasn't understood. So there's a delayed reaction there. So that's kind of a couple of ways in which you can look at it. Hopefully I provided some value on that perspective right there, of being ignored. And then if you are in fact absolutely just being ignored, maybe there's something deeper there. Maybe there's an iceberg situation happening there to where there's a lack of respect, or something deeper that's going on there. And at the end of the day, if somebody's ignoring you, the best way to approach that or attack that is, hey, did you hear what I said? Or here's another good one right here. Here's even a good one. Maybe ask the person, are they okay? Maybe there's something wrong with them. I've actually had that happen to me as well, too, to where I tried to say something, the person wasn't really having a great day, and I had to kind of take a step back from myself, from what I was trying to say and what I was trying to do, and say, oh, well, maybe there's something wrong with that person. Are you okay? So I kind of had to take that step back and ask the person if they were all right. And sure enough, yeah, there was something that was going on, and they opened up to me, and I found out that they had a family member that had passed away, and it wasn't that they was ignoring me. It was just that, they was deep in their thoughts and deep within their emotions, that anything that I had to say just wasn't breaking through that thick glass that they had put up in front of them that was really just kind of blocking people and things and tuning people and things out because they had their own personal trauma that they were dealing with. So once again, the key thing here is to think about it this way. It's not always about you. All right. Sometimes you got to kind of take a step back and see if there's something that's wrong with the other person, and see if you can help them. Maybe, maybe they got something negative that's happening within their life. All right, so once again, Flat Earth Forums, thank you, man. Thanks for a couple of talking points and things to talk about here tonight, man. Those were a couple of great topics. And I think earlier you mentioned about me coming on your live stream. Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that one of these days. For me, nights and weekends are really kind of the best time in which to do that because I'm really usually only available nights and weekends. Usually between 7 and like 9 or 10 o'clock at night Eastern time is when I'm available during the week. And on the weekends, I'm usually available a little bit more on the weekends. I'm a little bit more flexible. As long as I don't have anything going on with my family on the weekend, I can usually get on and do a live stream, or I can join you on a panel one of these days. And we can talk about some stuff. It's just if you have... Man, damn it. This stream's about ready to get started here. If you have a particular topic that you want to talk about or something that you want me to kind of prepare something for, I can absolutely do that. And we can get together and we can have a good conversation and we can talk about some stuff. And 7 o'clock. Yep, my class is starting. So... That's all right. I got it unmuted. It's being recorded, so I'll watch that later. Noon Central Saturday or Sunday. So noon would probably be... Gosh, I'm on the East Coast, so noon Central would probably be 1 or 2 my time. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't do time zones very well. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on Eastern Daylight Time. But that's a good time, though. 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, especially on a Sunday, is a good time for me. Saturdays, I'm really good on Saturdays. Once again, it just depends on what I got going on, but I usually spend Saturdays with my family. Yeah, pardon me for a second. I got to check into this live stream here real quick. Yeah, so I got this class going on over here on another screen. Like I said, I am a student at Villanova University, and my online class just started. So I had to check in, so I got to type in that chat screen. Let him. Damn it! She keeps making the freaking screen large, and it takes over my second screen. Wish she'd quit doing that. All right, there's one way to get rid of that. I will make this over here. I will adjust the screens on my second monitor. Man, I swear I need about 4 monitors here. I got 2 going right now, but I need about 4. All right. That's good enough. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about the short pause. I needed to check into this other thing. So I wonder where everybody's at tonight, man. 7 o'clock Eastern time on a Tuesday, and I usually have 2 or 3 people in here on a consistent basis. I guess they got other things going on tonight. No worries. But so Flat Earth Forums, man, thank you for... Yeah, matter of fact, you know what? That's a good idea. So while you're out there getting a refill on your coffee and water, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a short pause for the cause, and I'm going to go up and grab me another coffee while I'm at it too. So 2-minute break. All right, so coffee break is over. Hopefully you're back. If you are, let me know in the chat that you're back. And if you're just now joining me here as well too, once again, thank you for joining me here today. If you're just now joining me, once again, drop a comment in the chat. That way I know that you are here. So Flat Earth Forums, you're back. Appreciate it. Thank you. So what'd you get, man? Did you end up getting coffee or did you end up getting water? I got a nice cup of coffee myself. I love coffee, man. I will drink, oh my goodness, man, I'll drink anywhere between like 4 and 6 cups of coffee a day. It's a horrible addiction, man. It really is. And I got to bounce back both, okay. You know, I do that sometimes too because sometimes I need a balance of both. You know, I like to have a little bit of water with my coffee sometimes. That's how I put that one. Yeah, I like a little water with my coffee. And but yes, it is. I love coffee. I don't know what it is about coffee, but I love drinking it. I will literally drink 4 to 6, sometimes 7 cups of coffee a day. You know, I had an employee one time that would sit there and drink a pot of coffee. I kid you not, an entire pot of coffee before 6:30. Okay, this guy would get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would see him at 5 o'clock in the morning, and between 5 and 6:30, this guy would drink an entire pot of coffee. Okay, go out. We would do physical exercise. So like we'd go to the gym or go work out or something like that, and then we would come back, and from like 7:30 to 9, this guy would drink another pot of coffee. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. And then we would be at work and he would drink more coffee at work. I was like, how do you do this, man? I was like, I drink coffee, but I didn't drink that much darn coffee. Okay. See, I can't do that. Now, there's certain black coffees that I don't mind drinking. For me, I'm all about flavor. I love the flavor of... I got a sweet tooth, man. That's the bad thing about me is that I got a sweet tooth. So for me, I really like the hazelnut cream, and I like to put a lot of hazelnut cream in my coffee. I'll go through that big giant coffee lover size thing of hazelnut cream in about 3 or 4 days, and I'll go through like 2 of those in a week if I really lay into it. But I don't know what it is, man. I love the taste of that hazelnut cream. But there are a few coffees out there that I do like drinking black because, you know, just the taste of regular coffee is not that bad neither, man. It's really not. I need to get rid of this dumbass thing. All right, so once again, if you're joining me here tonight, please drop a comment within the chat. Let me know that you're here. And if you're not connected with Flat Earth Forums, who's also watching, make sure you connect with Flat Earth Forums. And man, I may have to go over into a couple of other live streams and just say, hey man, you guys need to come over and raid my darn channel. Get some people over here, man, so I can talk and have some people to kind of cross talk and communicate with, so, you know, some more questions and stuff. But once again, Flat Earth Forums, if you do have any questions though, please don't hesitate to ask your questions. I will definitely talk about anything if I have something to say about your questions or your concerns. So we did mention a little bit ago about going live together. Once again, if you have a topic of discussion or you want something that you want me to specifically talk about, here's what I can do. I can put together, you know, some things, some thoughts, some ideas, and some concepts and this, that, and the other, and then we can have a more formal conversation over whatever topic you want to talk about. That'll give me some food for thought and some homework to do. And, once again, I understand that, at the spur of the moment, any question is possible or any topic is possible or what have you. But I do like to kind of get some more, not necessarily scripted, but at least some talking points and some things that I can kind of research. If, in fact, that there is something that I need to strengthen, my thought processes on. For the most part, I can talk about just about anything that's out there except for politics. I think politics is probably the one thing that I can't talk about. I can't deal with it. I cannot talk about politics. That's probably the one thing I can't talk about. So, but some structure, yes. And I think that would make, I think that would make for a really good live stream. You know what I'm saying? To have a little bit of structure, at least some topics or at least some things to kind of be prepared for when they happen. Think of it kind of like an interview, so to speak. And I would love to do the same thing as well, too. If you got some, let's say, for example, you have a particular message that you want to get out and about, and you want to reach some different visibility, here's what I can do. I can actually do like a live interview, so to speak, kind of like what you and I can do. We can do kind of like a live interview, so to speak, and record it, put it out onto YouTube, and then I could share a lot of things across like my social media. So, for example, on my Facebook, I got over 7,000 followers on Facebook. I've got over 8,000 on Instagram. I just started focusing on my YouTube channel. That's the reason why my YouTube channel hasn't really done anything, because I think I put up my first video. Gosh, I don't remember when I put up my first video. I want to say if it was a couple years ago. And I literally did not do anything with my YouTube channel for about a year. And I just started getting back into this thing probably about 90 days ago, probably about 3 months ago. No more than 4 months ago, I just started focusing on my channel again. So I've completely neglected putting things out there, and I even went back and removed a lot of content as well too. And now that I'm a little bit smarter on how YouTube works, I shouldn't have done that, because when I deleted that content, I deleted the views that went along with it. And now I'm kicking myself in the face for doing that, because I went back and I deleted a bunch of content, and now those views are gone. And I'm sitting here like, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that. So I can't say that I'm really starting from scratch, but I almost kind of am. Because about 3 months ago, I really only had about 20 followers. I'm being completely transparent. About 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I only had about 20 followers. So during the last 90 to 120 days is when I've really started kind of increasing my followers a little bit here. And that's only because I've been participating in people's live streams. So I'm telling you, that's one of the fastest and quickest ways to grow your channel, is to participate in live streams. Because there's a lot of great people that's out there that are putting on these live streams, talking about all kinds of different things. And, a lot of it I can't really say that I really enjoy listening to, but the networking aspect of it, I really do enjoy that part of it. And the thing is that if you network the right way, you can meet some good people and have good conversation, and that conversation can carry over into live streams or into other channels like Facebook or Instagram, or even a website for that matter. So I've gotten on here and done some live streams, and I've actually encouraged people to go visit my website, and they've went to my website, signed up for my newsletter, got a couple of free books that I have over on my website. It's been awesome. So here's how I kind of look at social media. I look at social media, and I think that YouTube is social media, all right, as arms and legs. I look at it as arms and legs to reach out and either spread or send a message, ultimately to bring potential readers or buyers or clients or customers, whatever label or however you want to look at it, into my life and into my business. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to sell everything to everybody, although I do have things that I do sell. For the most part, most, if not all of the stuff that I have right now, I actually give away for free. And I have a reason why I'm doing that, because somebody asked me the other day on Reddit, And gosh, I like Reddit. I love Reddit. I think there's a lot of potential on Reddit, but my goodness, those people are quick to bust your chops in a heartbeat over on Reddit. And I had somebody the other day said, "Why do you give your stuff away for free?" He goes, "That makes no sense whatsoever." And I was like, dude, it makes perfect sense to give away stuff for free, because I'm giving value. I'm providing a part or a piece of me, my knowledge, my experience, my skills, and I'm building trust by giving away those free products. Okay, so when I give away my books for free, that's just a way of me giving a piece of myself to you, so that a way you can build a level of trust with me. You can get a taste or a flavor of the content that I have, the style that I deliver certain messages and this, that, and the other. And then when you're ready, you can take that next step of buying a book, or you can take that next step of joining, certain other things that I have going on. So I do have some paid products. All right, I got a product that I'm working on right now, and I think you heard me talk about this earlier. So I got a product, my planning method. I'm actually almost done with it. I got the product completed. I've got the course material script completed. Now I just need to get the sales script and the webinar video completed. And I'm anticipating having that done here within about the next, I'm hoping the next couple of weeks, because I want to roll this thing out before October, or by October. I really need to get it out before the holidays, because once November and December and January hit, those are the prime 90 days. I would even go as far as saying February, but really November, December, January are the 3 prime months in which to get planners out there. So I have a planning method that I have created that helps people filter everything out of their life and helps them focus on their bottom line up front and supporting tasks in which to accomplish that bottom line up front, and then opportunities for mindset development and growth, daily opportunities, and so forth. So it's a pretty good planning method. It's only one page, so I've narrowed down the most important things onto one page that people need to focus on in which to accomplish their day. All right, because here's the thing, and I'll give you kind of a taste of it right now. A lot of people tend to go through their day just all over the place. They're throwing darts at a dartboard and seeing what sticks. They're throwing spaghetti on a wall to see what sticks, and then that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to accomplish all these things, or they're trying to accomplish too much all at once, and they can't focus. All right, and that's what the goal of that planning method is to help people focus, minimize their thought process, and get it down to their bottom line up front. Like, here's the one thing that I need to do today in order to consider that day a success. Now, I used to say failure, but I don't like to use the word failure. I like to use the word success. I like to keep my conversations more positive than negative. And I'm really more intentional about that conversation internally and externally more today than I ever am. So the thing is that there's already a lot of negative self-talk, and there's already a lot of negative external talk that tends to find its way in from time to time, but I always try to find a way to filter a lot of that stuff out. And so I've developed different languaging here that helps people stay focused. All right. Oh, man, that coffee's delicious. I may have to have a third cup during this conversation. All right, so let me kind of pause for a second here. We got Flat Earth Forums within the live stream here today. And his last comment was, yes, no politics or religion really, but more educational, informational. I am streamlining my social media to reflect the intent and purpose of my channel. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, politics and religion, I can't get into those two topics either. Now, when it comes to politics, I believe that there is, there's a time and place for it. When it comes to religion, the Bible and God, Jesus asked me to believe, and that's what I do. I believe, and I pray, and I go to church every Sunday, and that's where it begins, and that's where it kind of ends. Anything that's outside of that, I kind of keep that to myself. I definitely don't try to impress my beliefs onto other people, because in and of itself, my beliefs are very basic. I believe that there's something or someone that is higher and greater than myself. And one day I hope to meet that person, and I know that I'm definitely going to be judged, and I hope that it's a positive example that I have set. And that's really kind of where it begins and ends for me on in reference to religion. But more educational, informational, yeah. So there's a lot of opportunity that's out there for educational, informational products. Here's the cool thing. Here's the really really cool thing. So the really cool thing is that there is lots of opportunity for education and information out there, because here's the thing. The face of education, and I'm enunciating on this a little bit more because I strongly am convicted on this. The face of education is changing. Colleges and universities, if they don't figure this out, are going to be irrelevant here within the next 5 to 10 years. They will be completely irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you how and why. Okay? Online communities, online educational platforms are changing the face of education. I can literally go into any online training community or platform, pay for exactly what it is that I want to learn it, and go out and take action on it immediately. Okay? Immediately. I can take immediate action on the things that I have learned in online communities on stuff that I have specifically paid for. Okay? Now, I have a college degree. I have a business degree. Okay? And a lot of that stuff that I've learned within my business degree is irrelevant. I don't use any of it that much anymore. I use more of the stuff that I've learned in investing in myself in online training and going to live events. So I've gone to live events and I've watched entrepreneurs and I've watched millionaires speak. Hell, I've been up on stage with a millionaire. Okay, I was at an event and I got asked to come up on stage and speak at an event that Onyx Singal was speaking at, if you're familiar with who he is. All right, so he's a multi-millionaire guy. Guy's made over $200 or $300 million, and I got the opportunity to speak at one of his events in front of his crowd one time. It was an absolutely amazing event. When I got off the stage after that event, I got to network with a lot of great people. I handed out more business cards and got more follow-on business after that event right there than any other live event that I've been to, just networking. You know, so I've been out to other networking events. I'll give you another example. Les Brown. So if you're familiar with Les Brown. So I got to go see Les Brown live. And one of the biggest things that he did is he had people get up and he made you meet the 2 or 3 people that was around you in your area, and meet and greet kind of a thing. He stood up on stage and waited for that to happen. And then he made everybody, it was so funny, because this lady grabbed a hold of my back and gave me one of the best massages ever. He made people in the audience give the people next to you a massage. So I reached around, I grabbed this lady, gave her a massage. The lady behind me, she grabbed my shoulders and gave me a massage. This was at a Les Brown event. It was awesome. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely freaking amazing. And so the interesting thing about that is it really loosened everybody up. It really kind of, loosened the moment, made light of the moment, and everybody was able to kind of sit down, relax, and take in the content, the information, the motivation, the inspiration at that moment in time. So I don't know if you're familiar with who Les Brown is, but oh my goodness, to watch him speak live was amazing. But if you've never heard of him, here's what I would do. I would get on YouTube and I would YouTube Les Brown live at the Georgia Dome. Oh my God. That is one of the most motivational and inspirational conversations I have ever heard on the internet. Right there. So Les Brown, really good dude. All right, time for some coffee. All right, so for subject matter expert, let's choose things like promoting our channels and books, things along those lines. That's a great idea. I wholeheartedly believe in doing that, and I'll give you my support as well too. I can do a live interview. We can talk about some more, more structured content. I can share that out on my Facebook, my Instagram page, and hopefully bring some visibility your way as well too. I would love to talk about my books. I have a few of them. So I've got 5 that are published out on Amazon, and I've got one that's on my website. It's not formally published, but I have it on my website as a free book. That's How to Live Your Best Year Ever in 2019. So that's an ebook that I got, and it's kind of a marketing tool, so to speak. So every year, around New Year's, everybody's always trying to figure out how to have a good year and how to live their best year or their best life ever. And I got that idea from Michael Hyatt. So Michael Hyatt's book behind me here, Your Best Year Ever. So that's kind of how I got that idea from Michael Hyatt. So I'm actually, I wouldn't go as far as saying that I'm good friends with Michael Hyatt, but I communicate with Michael Hyatt. I talk with him occasionally, and Michael Hyatt's a great dude, man. He really is. So I do get an opportunity to kind of interact with him on social media, and that's the good thing about social media. You can meet and greet a lot of great people, and you can interact with them and this, that, and the other. And Michael Hyatt's a great dude, man. He really is. I need to move out to Tennessee so I can be a little bit closer to him, because the other day I had an opportunity to go work for him, and I don't live in Tennessee, so I couldn't go take a job with him. It was just kind of one of those things. I wished I could have been out there. But that's kind of how I got that idea right there, is from Michael Hyatt, Best Year Ever. So now I've got this book, How to Live Your Best Year Ever in 2019, and just every year I change the year on it. The content stays the same. Just every year I change the year and repurpose it and get it back out there and market it and build up my email list and build up my following using that one book. So for me, that's a tool that I use to reach people once a year. And I'm about ready to turn that into an audiobook. So here's what I'm about ready to do. I'm about ready to turn that into an audiobook, so that way it'll be kind of a package deal. You get the ebook and the audiobook for free. So that's coming this year. So this year, and I'm actually going to rename the book. So instead of How to Live Your Best Year Ever in 2018, 19, 20, 21, because I need to break away from that. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up renaming the book, and it's going to be called How to Have a Great Day, or How to Have Your Best Day Ever, or something along those lines. And yeah, 30 minutes, that's a good time. That's great. That's a good timeline right there. So I'm thinking about changing the title of that book instead of going, changing it, because I've changed it for about 3 years now. And I'm at a point now to where I just need to change it, set it, and forget it kind of a thing. So I'm thinking about renaming that particular book How to Have a Great Day, or How to Have a Good Day, or How to Have Your Best Day Ever, or something along those lines. So within that book right there, I've got 10 action items that I want people to take, and if they take those particular action items on a daily basis, then they can have a great day. It's like this right here. If you win the day, you can win the week. If you win the week, you can win the month. You win the month, you win the year. And it's kind of like that concept right there. So I do kind of that snowball effect of, if you take action on the 10 things that I talk about within that book on a daily basis, consistent, intentional daily basis, you will have a good year. And that's kind of how I framed that book. But what I need to do is reframe the book into like a day. Like, if you do these things right here, you will have a great day. And then maybe I can kind of reference the snowball effect of you'll have a great day, great week, great month, great year kind of concept within the book. But reshape it, retitle it, and I think that'll work. So then I'll have the ebook, and then I'm thinking about recording an audiobook for it, and then package that as kind of a 2-product deal for free. I'm going to give that away for free. And all right, so that's my 15 cents on that. I think I talked about that one enough. So, but I appreciate your feedback, though. Sounds like a good title. Flat Earth Forum says that sounds like a good title. I appreciate your positive feedback. Thank you. I'm truly thankful that you believe that that's a great title. Thank you very much. See, for me, that's valuable feedback right there. And I don't get me wrong, I enjoy negative feedback because I learn from negative feedback, but I also greatly appreciate positive feedback as well too. So for that, thank you very much. All right. So here's some quotes right here. So if you're like me, you like quotes. And I know myself, I absolutely love quotes, and I like talking about quotes because, in and of itself, quotes are one of those things that they're like quick wins. So when I think of quotes, I think of quotes as kind of like quick wins. Here's a quick win that will help kind of, give me that little adrenaline rush or that, that hit that I need to kind of motivate and inspire me to take action in the spur of the moment right there. So I love quotes. So if you're anything like me, you'll love quotes as well too. So I hope you like quotes, and that's what I want to do right here. I want to kind of go through some of the quotes that I have within my books, and I kind of want to elaborate on those quotes just a little bit right here. So the other day, I was in a conversation with someone, and they was struggling. They was absolutely just struggling with this conversation. And the thing is that they were really struggling with something that hasn't even happened yet. They were complaining about stuff, and man, I don't want to go here because this, and they was kind of catastrophizing a situation that hasn't even happened yet. So I kind of looked at the person. I said, look, just stop what you're doing, take a deep breath, and stop overthinking stuff that hasn't happened yet. Okay? So often, we overthink things that haven't happened yet, that we begin to catastrophize and think worst case scenario internally, to the point to where we start projecting that externally in the form of either talking to ourselves, talking out loud, pacing back and forth, being stressed, putting your head down, rubbing your forehead. Okay? So the thing is that when things have not happened yet, don't catastrophize those things because they have not happened yet. But so often we get bent out of shape over things that have not happened yet. So don't do that. Okay? If in fact that you are worried about something that has not happened yet, or something's bothered you, talk to somebody about it. Don't complain, but talk to somebody about it. And once again, remember that what I was talking about earlier about icebergs? So there's always an underlying thing that is bothering that person on why they would overthink something, on why they would catastrophize, on why they would think worst case scenario on something that has not happened yet. So once again, maybe they're not looking forward to going to something because somebody else is going to be there. And that's the reason why they don't want to go there. So they're overthinking that. They don't want to go to a certain place because, every time they go, somebody says this or says that, or somebody's trying to compete, whatever the case may be. And then they begin to catastrophize and get bent out of shape over that type of stuff. And there's nothing really wrong with, there's really nothing wrong with thinking, but overthinking tends to be a problem. All right, so if you're joining me here on this live stream here, please type something within the chat box and let me know that you're joining me here. If you got a topic that you want to hear me talk about, once again, let me know, and I will do my best to try to talk about whatever it is that you have. All right, I don't mind sharing knowledge and experience and ideas, especially if there's something that you really want to, especially if there's something that you want to hear me talk about. All right, so, oh my goodness, man, she totally went freaking live screen on that one. Make sure I'm still muted over here. Okay. Hey, so Flat Earth Forums, here's something that I kind of picked up on today, and I kind of want to share this with you as well too. And this is something that really kind of bothers me because I actually I actually heard somebody say this the other day in a live stream, and they was talking about, hey, I got you playing in. Sorry about that. There was like a bug or something flying by. Somebody mentioned something along the lines of yeah, I got you playing in the background, but I got multiple tabs open, this, that, and the other. Here's the interesting thing. YouTube does not register it as a viewer if you don't have that tab open. You could have multiple tabs open and have somebody else, everybody else muted and one person playing kind of in the background, but YouTube will only count the current tab that you have open. And somebody said that to me the other day. I was like, yeah, I've got like 15 tabs open and I'm playing 15 different multiple streams. That's great. Those other 14 people are not getting your watch time because guess what? YouTube only counts the current tab that you have open. I picked up on that over the last few days using multiple devices and streaming, so I was testing it and I was actually watching myself, and every time I opened up another tab and clicked on that tab, it would go away. It would sorry about that. I got distracted on something. I saw my name pop up on the other screen, but it wasn't my name. It was somebody else's name. So that's something to think about. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I hear what you're saying there. Can I prove it? I think that I possibly could. But it's one of those things that, once again, just kind of playing around within the live streams, it's just something that I noticed. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not, I don't know. But it has me thinking, and I definitely don't want to point no fingers at anybody in this, that, and the other. I really don't. That's not my goal with my statement. But once again, it has me kind of pondering that because it is something that I heard people say. But since I noticed numbers fluctuating and this, that, and the other, like for example, when I'm looking at my numbers, I know that I'm here and I'm using my browser, and I know that you're here and you're using your browser, but guess what? My stream only shows that one person is watching, which I find kind of interesting. So once again, I don't know if it's just not counting me and it's only counting you. And I've seen the numbers jump up and down a little bit here, but I don't know if that's just a delay or if that's just YouTube, I don't know, doing its thing. I have no idea. So once again, it's just, like I said, I'm not trying to make it a negative conversation. I'm just trying to highlight something that I kind of picked up on. And you could be right. You could be right. I can see your point on there. I could be overanalyzing, but what my concern is that people think that they're helping people, and I just don't want that to happen to people. In other words, I don't want that to negatively happen to people, like, okay, they got tabs open, but yet it's not logging or registering watch time. So that was kind of my point on that. Once again, trying to keep things in a positive light within that, because I know I was doing the same thing. I was opening multiple tabs, and then I kind of picked up on the fact that, okay, gosh, I wonder if that actually is registering. So that was the only reason why I kind of took that conversation to that point. But I know you got to go. Once again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. And hopefully what I was just talking about right there, hopefully that's not a negative thing. Hopefully that's not actually happening to anybody. But it's definitely something to kind of think about and kind of look into. And I may do some further investigation and maybe ask around and see if that has happened to anybody else, because I've seen that it was happening to me just a little bit. And I may be overanalyzing. You're most likely right. I may just be overanalyzing and overthinking the thing. But it was just something I picked up on. Yeah, thanks for joining me here tonight, Flat Earth Forums. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And yeah, see, now my numbers is back up to 2. Yeah, I did that too, man. I had multiple windows open, and that gets to be a little mind. I always end up having to mute 2 or 3 things and keep the one that I really want to listen to open, playing sometimes. But the others will be playing in the background. Yeah, I appreciate talking with you, though, man. Thank you. Interesting. Yeah, for me it's been 1, and now it's back up to 2, so it's back up to 2 now. But for about 5 minutes there, while I was talking to you about the whole concept that I was just talking about, it said 1, and now it's back up to 2, and that happened about 30 seconds ago. Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. All right, you have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by, and I can't wait to catch your live stream. I'm going to be out of the loop for about 3 days, the rest of this week during the day. I got some classes going on during the day at work over the next 3 days, so I'm going to be in a classroom for 3 days. So I'm not going to be able to join. I might be able to for a little bit in the mornings, but yeah, when that class starts up, I got to be in the classroom. But great talking to you, man. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So, yeah, sorry about the pause here. I was kind of looking at something else here. I was trying to see who all was around, and I'm gonna go raid a couple of channels myself just to kind of see who's out and about and this, that, and the other, and see who I can oh wow, man, I haven't seen this dude in a long time. Wow. See who I can encourage to come and raid my channel here a little bit. Alright, see who all is around. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining me here. Yeah, I greatly appreciate it. So, once again, to kind of get back on track here, if you like quotes the way that I do, you're going to love this little bit right here. So I love quotes. And, I'm a motivational speaker, and I like motivation, I like inspiration. Somebody asked me the other day about success. Okay. It's like, do you want to achieve success? Or what does success look like to you? And, and I thought that was kind of an interesting question. It was a great question. And, so for me, success means a lot of different things. However, I also believe that success is too small of a word to be achieved by anyone. There's a lot of people that's out there that's trying to achieve success. I want to achieve success. I want to be great. I want to do all these different things. Well, that's great that you want to do that. But once again, like I said, success, which is a singular word, is too small of a word to be achieved by anyone. And here's the reason why I say that. The reason why I say that is because, look, to me, success seems like it is a final destination. It really does. I don't want to achieve success because it does sound like it's a final destination that once you achieve it, there's nowhere else to go. Okay, and that's the reason why I don't want to achieve success, singular. I would like to achieve successes, which is plural. Okay, because it's about the journey and not the destination. All right, so the thing is that a lot of people are striving to achieve success, but they're not really enjoying the journey. They're really not. Okay? And and I want to enjoy the journey. I absolutely want to enjoy the journey along the way. I don't want to get to a point and then it's like hitting a brick wall and you have nowhere else to go. You know, it's kind of like, I'll share a quick story with you. It's kind of like those guys that went to the moon. You know, once you achieve that level of success, once you make it to the moon, what else is there? What's beyond the moon? Okay? Now, in their minds and in the minds of the world, landing on the moon was a great success. And in and of itself, I don't want to take away from the achievement because it was a great achievement. But a lot of people that achieve that level of success often find themselves depressed afterwards because they can't find anything that is more successful than that level of success that they've already achieved. You know, and then they turn to different things and this, that, and the other. And that's the reason why I don't want to achieve, like, success, you know, because it does sound like it's a final destination. I want to achieve successes along the way because remember, it's all about the journey and not the destination. All right. So if you are joining me here tonight, once again, please leave me a comment within the chat. Let me know that you're here so that I know that you're watching. And, yeah, I'll give you a quick shout out within my video as well here too. Alright, so I'm kind of multitasking here. I'm over in some other live streams here and kind of looking at some other content as well too. So if you're joining me here tonight, once again, thank you for joining me. Leave me a comment in the chat, that way I'll know you're here. If you got any questions or anything you want to hear me talk about, let me know. Just kind of hanging out a little bit. All right. All right, Flat Earth Forums. Yeah, once again, thanks for joining me here tonight. Greatly appreciate you hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, man. Look forward to seeing you again throughout the week.
Accepted concept in Six Sigma that everybody uses. This DPMO single light cable.
Alright.
They use
So I got about 4 things going on here at once. Pardon me, I'm just trying to listen to something here real quick.
We are
That's exactly right.
trying to grab
So
up
you'll
Marcus
always use the
Eats. Bless this
1.5.
crazy mess. Yes, we got a stream
So
going,
let's
everybody.
talk a little
Marcus
bit
Eats
about,
only needs two
we're
more
going to talk
subscribers.
about Z-Scores
Can we grab up Marcus
next
Eats and we'll
week.
keep
But
playing
the
the game?
concept is put up
Marcos
here
Eats
is
needs
how
two
we
more.
calculate a Z
Marcos
table,
Eats.
and there's two
Can we
kinds of
please grab
ways,
up Marcos
and,
Eats? I know everybody cares.
So
I know
wanted
everybody
you
cares,
to
but
look
they're
at
just
the concept
can't put it off on somebody else. You have to do it. Please grab up Marcos
And
Eats. I do
basically,
it all the time. I go to other streams and I grab up people and I watch their video. And if they don't have a video, I share it out on my community
you
tab.
have a
Please grab
positive
up
Z-score,
Marcos Eats.
so that's
Let me know
mean
you
in
get to
every
your
one,
goal. Marcos
two,
Eats
three, standard
375.
deviations plus one side on the right
Let's
side.
go.
And
Let's
the
go.
negative
Please
is,
help me out. Marcos Eats. The real Camille
one,
was
two,
in here.
three,
Networking.
deviations
Marcos
on the
Eats only
left-hand
needs
side.
two more.
The
Can we
negative
get Marcos
side.
Eats two more
The
subscribers?
normal
We got 15
distribution looks
people
like
in here.
this, and the
We
body
got
under
15
here.
people in here.
All right, so once again, moving along here within the quotes that I got going on here. So the thing that you want to make sure is that you are clear and concise with your thoughts and actions. By ensuring that each are working together in harmony to achieve your goals. When you take the time to clearly think about the things that you must do on a daily basis, it'll bring clarity to your life by identifying what is most important to you. Okay, like I was talking about earlier, a lot of people really kind of tend to go about their day kind of half-assing things. They really do. You know, they really don't take intentional action. They really don't think about what it is that they're doing. You know, it's kind of like zombies, so to speak. You know, you get people that go throughout their day just kind of doing what is comfortable or what comes natural without really kind of stretching their limitations or stretching what the opportunities or stretching even what the possibilities are. So the thing, and you're never going to learn, you're never going to grow or anything like that if you don't stretch the possibilities. So be clear and concise with your thoughts and actions by ensuring each are working together in harmony to achieve your goals. All right, which kind of brings me to another point here. So if you look on my website, you'll see that I wrote an article about achieving goals. And I wrote that about a year ago because a year ago I was a different person than I am today. All right. Because I've learned more, I've grown a little bit more over the last year, and I have a different perspective on what I wrote a year ago. So within all my books, that's one of the things that I actually do as well too, is that I change my perspective as I learn new techniques and new tactics, new tips, new tools, whatever the case may be. So something I may have said a year ago is completely different today because, well, now I have a different perspective on things.
And you have to
A
compare
number between 0 and 20. That person
So
will
you
come
have
up
to
next.
compare it
0 and
to the
20.
values on this side
Guess
of
as
the
many times as you
plus
like.
the values on this side.
All right.
The right Z-score.
So I don't know what I'm doing here on another, I'm doing something on another channel here. So hopefully it's not distracting.
Data.
See what happens with it.
So the Z distribution is defined as the number of standard deviations of value is from the mean. So whatever your Z-score is, your Z-score is at a p-value or a probability value of 0.05%, which means you have
Well,
95%
Cubby for life,
confidence
16.
in that value.
Cubby for life.
Then you would
Cubby
calculate,
for life.
the formula is Z is equal to X.
How many do you have,
minus
Cubby
mu,
for
which
life?
is the population
Life with
mean,
Liz, we're
divided
playing the
by the
game.
sigma
How
standard
many do you
deviation.
have, Cubby?
And there's
Planet
other
X
ways to
watcher.
calculate
The answer was
Z-scores.
16.
But you can
I'm
also go to
890. Oh,
charts,
you
by
know
the way.
Rufus is
So we're gonna
we ain't getting off of this until he gets 900. 900. Let's
Z
get him to
distribution is just
900.
looking at the growth
891.
curve.
That's right.
And I wanted to bring to your
891.
attention
Already. Let's get him to 900. 900. Let's hit 900 on this stream. Let's do it. Let's do it. What's up with all the numbers? We're trying to get Cubby for Life 900 subscribers. He needs 9 more. G-Kicks, help me out. Cubby for
All right, so if you're joining me here, please leave me a comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here.
Let's go get Cubby for Life. Stop put
performance,
Garcia
process
Jr.
performance.
We're at
So process
763
performance.
Overlook Valley Homestead. Okay,
Remember,
we'll
what
help
did
you
we
out.
say the
Honey
difference
Anna Maya
between
says got you
PP,
covered for life.
PPK,
Planet X says
and
got you
CP,
covered for life.
CPK?
And maybe
Remember?
Texas is
Oh, get out of here, Jazz. We the same age. That's what's
looks like right there.
up.
Got you covered for life.
Okay.
Overlook Valley Homestead. All in your face.
I'm 29 too.
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?
The
Covered
water
for
spray
life.
for the
How far are you now? Covered for life. What are your numbers? I need numbers. Thank me later, buddy.
No.
I need numbers.
You're okay.
Covered for life says
But what
let's
is-
grow.
what
He
does
says,
the-
thank all of you so much for your
What
hard
does
work.
PP,
I need to know where
PPK
you're at so I can keep
represent
promoting you.
versus?
893. Let's get him up to 900. 893. Let's get him up
What
to
type of
900.
data?
She needs to finish making veggie
No.
soup. She'll
What
check
you're
back in
doing
a few
is
minutes.
you're
Bless this
using
crazy mess. Thank you
present
for coming into our
performance.
stream.
So
And y'all be
you're
sure to give me a
looking
thumbs
at,
up if you want to.
using
You don't have to. I've been on for an hour, so I figured I'd ask. Maiden Texas is dropping that link. Check out the
What you
channel
wanna
of
know
Rentals
is
Family
what's
Laughs
your
and
current
Challenges.
performance
Yes,
and what's your
please
current
check
skill
out
level.
Cubbies for
How to
Life,
make
everybody. Cubbies
improvements.
for
You
Life.
need something to
Only need
compare it to. What's your
7
favorite
more
So
subscribers.
CPK
Can we get Cubbies for Life?
used for
5 more
future,
subscribers.
okay?
5
And
more
PPK,
subscribers. 4 more.
is
Can we get Cubbies for Life? 4 more
okay?
subscribers. Four more subscribers. We are the Thompsons. Thank
Yeah,
you
So
for coming into
here's
my
the
stream. And Cubbies for Life needs 4 more subscribers. Almost
Yeah,
to
it's
900.
and
Let's get Cubbies for Life out the way,
You know,
guys, and we
so
can work
much
on
to
your channel
remember.
next. We can
Drinking
work
from
on
a fire
your
hose,
channel
so-
next. And if you help these
no,
people,
I
they
still
will
have to
help
break
you. I
things down.
promise.
Go ahead.
Terry Wade,
Just a quick-
Maiden, Texas.
Yes,
G Kick
just a
says
quick question.
Thompsons, what's
So
up?
let's say you want to buy a new machinery. So if you want to study the capability of the machine, then you should use CPK. Is that right?
I got you, bro. That should be 2 more. That should be 2 more. I'm not sure, but it should be
I
2
think
more.
of I thought CPK was the
Everybody, we're trying to
capability.
get Cubby for Life to 900. 900 in
I think that-
There is the process
900.
capabilities.
Cubby for Life.
Go ahead.
Cubby for Life.
Go ahead,
897.
Well,
3
I'm
more.
not exactly sure,
897.
but
3 more. 3 more
I think
subscribers. We got 5 times as many people in here. Everybody, let's go. Hello to all the blue in the chat. Nice to
how
see
the
loyal.
Hey, so if you're joining me here, once again, let me know in the chat. Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out right now at the moment. So I do got some things that I'm going to talk about here, but I'm just kind of hanging out. So if you are new to my channel and you're just checking things out, let me know in the chat that you're here. That way I can shout your channel out and leave you a comment. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you.
So, trying to provide an example of like potential capability.
Like a new machine?
Well, I think if you were like, let's say you were at a machine shop picking out equipment and you were able to actually do a small scale pilot run, which sometimes happen with large expenditures, you're able to kind of try them out. You would still typically use PPK because that's like the actual performance, of that particular part or whatever it is that you're trying to make. You're testing it real time, and that's the actual performance of the equipment. But I think if you're thinking like futuristic possibilities or uses for that equipment, that's when you would use CPK.
But even if you make one friend,
Okay,
that's
so I have an example for you.
LOL, it's all good, brother.
So if you were trying to change the classifications of your current process to change maybe or get a better signal level out of your current process, then you would do runs using
That I wouldn't do.
CPK
Terry Wade
to
Thompson says,
understand
great
what the
seeing you
process
here at We Are the Thompsons. Thank you, Terry Wade Thompson, for coming in here and networking with everybody. Not just any way, but the only way. The right way. And I hope you enjoy my
So
stream. Levy, yeah, says hi to Michelle Martell. Thank you so much, Michelle Martell. That's what I'm talking about. Michelle
as you
Martell
said, I
really is
agree.
those things
If
of
you're
me.
gonna buy a piece of
Borderline.
equipment,
And G-Kick says, bro, like
buying
And
equipment,
Cubby for Life probably
used
needs
to have
one
an
more. Can we
analyzer
get
so
Mine's Vlogs, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just kind of relaxing here. Watching I'm watching like 3 or 4 live streams at the moment here, so yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. How's everything going your way tonight? So I'm just drinking some coffee, watching some live streams, and I got another class going on at the moment here because I got class on Tuesday nights here. Because I take online classes here, so I got like 5 things going on at once right now. It's a good thing I got 2 screens. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. You know, I need to make it over to your live stream again. I miss your live streams, I really do. You know what I really like about your live streams is when you did the whole guessing game thing the other day. Man, that was awesome. That was a great time. That absolutely was a great time when you had when you had something in a box and we had to guess like what it is. That was fun. I think I guessed all of them when I was in there, if I'm not mistaken. That was a good time. But I really do enjoy your live streams. You really do have great live streams, and you bring... Yeah, I absolutely remember. I don't forget those kind of things, man. Why would I forget that? That was memorable. See, and that's the thing is, you know, a lot of times... You know, the interesting thing is that a lot of people come and go within your life, but it's those memorable moments that you will never forget. And when someone has an influence on your life, they can have a positive impact on your life. You know, because I think if you've read any of my books, you see my books. 2 of the biggest things that I tend to talk about is influence and impact, which is the 2 most important aspects of leadership. And the thing is that by watching you do that, that serves as mentorships to me, because that gives me an example of like what I like to call what right looks like. So the thing is that when you're interacting with people and you're doing those kind of things, that's what makes your live stream entertaining. That's what makes your live stream fun and makes people want to participate in this, that, and the other. And that's what makes it memorable. And that has a positive influence and an impact on people. You know, here's what I've discovered. A lot of times people won't necessarily always remember what you do, and a lot of times they won't always remember what you say, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And you definitely left a memorable impression and impact on me during that particular live stream right there. For me, that was fun. That was interaction. That was engagement. And that's what you really want on YouTube here, is interaction, engagement. When you can get people to engage and interact in such a fun way like that, I'm telling you, you can't beat that. You can't go by that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what puts a human element on certain things. And for that, I thank you. Truly blessed, man. Truly blessed every single day. Thank you.
That's what we do. That is what we do, G.
So if you're trying to improve
That
something,
is what we do.
this would certainly be something
Anyone else get Cody off of you?
because you're not
No,
making
we're
customers
going to
happy.
do reach.
You may be giving them product that's within their specification, but you're going to have a lot more defects out here, number 1. And number 2, you're giving them product that's at the high end.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing everything. Thank you very much. And I know that that's one of the things that's highly encouraged in this, that, and the other, and it helps bring attention to other people. And I know that I don't have that tab visible on my timeline. Once again, that's kind of a personal choice and a preference, but I really do appreciate it when everybody else shares my stuff out as well too. You know, and I really do. I greatly appreciate that. I have a definitive reason why I don't necessarily show that. I think it's like the community tab or there's a tab, I can't remember what it is. Once again, it's a personal preference that I don't show that. I keep that one hidden. For me, it's a branding thing, because I do run my page kind of like a business, so to speak. So I do have business reasons why I don't do that. Once again, it's just a personal preference. But once again, thank you very much. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day to stop by and watch me and listen to the things that I have to say. So what you got going on tonight, man? What's on your mind? Is there anything particular you want me to talk about tonight? So I was just going over some of the quote cards that I have, because I like talking about my my quotes.
0 and 20.
Okay, so don't forget the last class, the second.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna have a guest speaker at Hayes.
ABS.
All right, so one of the great quotes that I have within one of my books, and it talks about beauty and simple things. Okay, and here's the quote: "There is so much more to life when you discover beauty in the simple things." You know, we live in a very complex world in which a lot of things are going past us 1,000 miles an hour. We definitely live in a society that's just overstimulated from so many different directions. It's unbelievable. Sometimes people can't even slow down enough to really enjoy a moment. Whether it be just a breath of fresh air, a sunrise, a sunset, a flower, a butterfly, something like that. And the other day I was kind of sitting out on my front porch, and I don't really get an opportunity to do that very often, but the other day I was sitting out on my front porch and I was watching the sunrise. And as I was listening, I was listening to a lot of sounds that I hadn't really heard in quite a long time, and it really kind of calmed me down. It really kind of soothed my soul, so to speak. So I haven't really listened to like the bugs in the area. And I know it's kind of a weird thing, kind of a strange thing to talk about, but for me, I just haven't experienced that in quite a long time. And when I took time out of my morning to really kind of do that, I had to take my phone outside and kind of record it a little bit. So I recorded two things. I recorded the sounds of like nature, and then I recorded the sound of my water hose that was watering my garden out in my front yard. So I got a really good combination of what sounded like rain with nature bug sounds on top of that. It was awesome. I'm going to make a video out of that here pretty soon and upload that with sounds. So I thought that was cool. So you're getting ready to go to work. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I know huge time zone difference there. I don't know if you guys are probably like 8 hours ahead of us or something like that. It's 8 o'clock at night here, so I'm probably going to be going to bed here in about an hour, so I got to get up. I have classes tomorrow. So this week is a rough week for me because I got classes going on. But I do appreciate you stopping by and taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of time with me here. Okay, so 12 hours. 12 hours time difference. Oh, I got one stream that ended here. That's awesome. Good. I was tired of listening to that anyway. So I had something else kind of playing over here on the background. All right, which leads me kind of to my next quote here. So I got a quote here where I talked about busy. So a lot of times people talk about being busy, but they're not necessarily productive, and that's two completely different things. Being busy and being productive. Being busy is really a mindset. Okay, and it's something that I struggle with, and I really get tired of listening to a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm busy. Busy doing what? Sitting on your butt? And I kind of call them out just a little bit. I will. I'll dime that joker out in a heartbeat. It's like the only thing I see you being busy at is just listening to what I have to say, or busy sitting on your butt. So I kind of struggle with that a little bit, how you hear people talk about, oh, I'm busy. So there's a difference and a distinction between being busy and being productive. A lot of times throughout my day, sometimes I might be busy with things, but I'm not necessarily productive. And here's what that kind of boils down to. It kind of boils down to procrastination. When you procrastinate doing deep work or bigger work or better work, whatever label you want to put on it in reference to work, you know what I'm saying? you will discover that there is a difference between
Play the game. We're gonna play the game. Everybody.
busy on YouTube.
Everybody's gonna get
you,
an
you,
opportunity.
you will discover that there is a difference between being busy and being productive. So, yeah, I do that all the time. So I say I'm busy. I'm busy doing something. I'm not doing nothing. I'm reading emails or doing, just busy work, procrastination work, so to speak. And that's what I like to call it. I like to call it procrastination work. But,
Yes, thank you so much.
wow, man, that stream is flying across the screen, man. I'm watching like 3 other live streams. I'm watching Pusha Studios as well too, man. I just flipped over their screen, like their live chat is just flying across the screen. Oh my goodness, it's hard to keep up with some of these bigger channels that has a lot of people in them.
But hey, if you just get one out the deal, you know what I mean? Just one friend, and you know that you couldn't have made before. That's all that matters. But we hope that they all stick. You know what I mean? We hope that they all stick. Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 0 and 20. Whoever gets it right gets to come on the show next. And this is a show. This is a live broadcast. So come on down and guess the answer.
I'm not gonna guess that answer.
0 through 20 included. All the numbers. 0 through 20. Robert Garza. Yes.
So I'm kind of listening to some other streams here and everything, but anyway, hey, so happy Tuesday.
CSX got it right.
Hope that you have a great day at work.
Do you need to go do something, CSX?
But anyway, so I got to end this here. I got to go do something here, and I will see everybody later. You guys have a great day. Happy Tuesday, and I will see you next time. I've been on here too long. I got to go, and I'll talk to you later.
How many subs do you have? Where's Joel and Brown?
Gabby,
Brown, thank you for
Come here.
coming into my stream. You didn't have to, but you
hey
did.
boo.